Hello everyone, Grandpa Hickory. Thanks for coming to my channel. Welcome to my video of dealing with the wiggle waggles of our society. You know, a long time ago when I was a lad of a boy, I used to go to this little store that was way out in the countryside, and it had a big old wood stove. It was what they called a pot-bellied stove. And I'd go in, and a lot of the elders would be in there. They'd be playing dominoes, and they would have mugs of coffee, big old coffee mugs. I'm talking big old cups, a lot bigger than this. And they would have their coffee, and they would get their cinnamon rolls and their donuts. And back then, donuts were 2 for a nickel. The cinnamon rolls, they were a dime a piece. And they were big though. They weren't little bitty ones like you see nowadays. But I went in there, and I would go in there and I'd back up to that stove, and they'd tell me, "Now watch it there, lad. You know, be careful, little fella. You don't want to catch on fire." And some of the other elders, they said, "Leave him alone. You leave that boy alone. Because once he touches that stove and he backs up against that and that burns his bowhind, then he'll know to stay away from fire, and he'll know to keep a decent distance from it." And I thought, my, to me that was like, huh? You want me to get burned? And I had a little elderly man, he said, "Come here, young fella." And I went, "Oh," I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "I want to tell you about the wiggle of things." I looked at him and I said, "The wiggle things?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Let me tell you about the wiggle of things." He said, "You know, we all come into this world, and some of us have to learn by what's called the school of hard knocks. And by that, if someone tells you not to touch that stove, and they tell you that'll hurt. Well, most people don't believe them. And some of them will go over there and they will actually touch that stove and they'll holler, "Ow!" Boy, they'll be, licking their finger and everything. Why? Because they got burned. You see, there's wiggle times in our lives. And there's other times when there's waggles. And I looked at him and I said, "Waggles?" He said, "Yes, there's waggles when people wiggle and waggle their way through life. The waggles are the ones like you that can be told and warned not to touch a fire that is going to hurt them." And he said this is dealing with the wiggle waggles of society. Hit the like button, subscribe. I'm Grandpa Hickory. I'll see you on the next video. You know, our elders had such wisdom. They really did. I'll see you on the next video.